The growing part of my practice is really around legacy coaching. And another one, I would call it career shift coaching, but that's really for people who are about 35 or over, who have some experience in the workplace, and they're really trying to figure out where to make the best contribution. But legacy coaching is really very sweet. It's people who are within 5 to 8 years of retirement. You know, retiring from their position, retiring for good, whatever they're thinking about. And it's a chance to sit back and think about what I've done in the workplace or what I'm going to be doing when I'm leaving. And really, is that really a fit for me? Because I find that most of the people I work with, the chances of them retiring in a classic retirement that, you know, our parents sort of thought about. I mean, my father is 90 now. He'll be 90 in January, and he's been retired except for a part-time job for 28 years. And he's a little out of sorts sometimes because he really doesn't have a passion. And his passion sort of is not there anymore. You know, he's living and he's doing a great job and he does a few things, but he's not passionate about anything that I can see right now. And I think that if you think about being active as a healthy adult past the age of, say, 65, and you're going to live another 20 years, 25 years, you might want to think about what you're actually going to be doing. Because the chances that you're just going to retire and play golf or tennis or cards, I think is highly, highly unlikely. I would be willing to bet on it.
And so that's what the kind of work you do with people.
I think we do retirement plans, and I had one fellow. I don't know if I've told you, he's a business developer, high-powered ex-pastor, a very wonderful human being, a beautiful man, and he had purchased a condominium in Florida, and was very close to retirement, about 12 to 18 months, and he was kicking back. And his colleagues sensed he was kicking back. And one of the leaders in the organization said, "Mark, we'd like you to work with him." And I went in, we started talking, and I said to him, "You know, what do you think you're going to be doing?" And he told me, and I started laughing. I said, "Why am I having a hard time believing this?" And he said, "You're having a hard time believing it?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Boy, listening to you say that, I'm having a really hard time believing it." And so maybe we should talk about this. And he says, "Well, you know, if I'm willing to re-examine this, but, you know, I have to talk to my wife about it." I said, "You know, maybe we should talk to her together, or I should talk to her first." And I said, "No, I think you and I should talk first, and you should get clear. And then when your clarity, we can work with that later on. But if you're not clear what you really want to do, there's no sense in talking about it with her. It's just going to get kind of muddled." And he said, "Okay." So we did some work together. I don't think it was more than a half a dozen times we met. And he actually put the condominium on the market. He said, "You know, I'm doing something really different." And we drew up a plan together that had him retiring, staying in a part-time position with the same company, doing more traveling and learning, had he and his wife doing work in the third world. It was a totally different plan. And they were excited, as opposed to being ambivalent about going to Florida in a community where they knew a couple of people. They were now, whoa, there's really a way for us to do something, still make a contribution here. You know?
That's exciting.
Oh, it's exciting. It's so exciting. And you watch people's faces change. And, you know, I'm doing work with someone just now. I just came from doing work with a woman right now with a little piece of retirement planning, and she found out that she had more assets than she needed. I thought she was going to jump out of the seat. You know, she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad I did this." You know, and I think that traditional retirement planning, like if you were to go to a financial planner, I would function on assets and income, and that's fine. It's a good piece. I do that work too, but it would focus on that piece only. But what we're really talking about is really identifying those things that bring you passion.